Welcome to a new Boca in English podcast here with Rodrigo Azurmendi. I'm the host, Facundo Zalazar. This is going to be a very interesting podcast today.
A tough one.
A tough one. A day after we got eliminated from the Apertura. We lost 1-0 against Independiente in the quarterfinals of the playoffs against at home. It's a tough game. It's hard to talk today. I am very disappointed, very sad. As per can see it on my face, if you're watching online, it's very tough. It's a mix of everything. It's a mix of sadness, of frustration, of uncertainty, of not knowing what is going on, or not knowing how we're going to move forward. And I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about from the top to the bottom, including everybody, including the fans as well. I think that it's a time where we all had to look back what we want, what we need for our team. But it's a tough day. Again, we lost against Independiente. We're out of another tournament at home. I am very frustrated. So, Rodri, welcome. How you feeling? How you doing?
Yeah, we talked about this, like off air, and we were talking about it last night as well. I don't know if it's because we're hitting our mid-30s, but or it's because we've dealt with one too many failures and disappointments, and it's just we just kind of like moved right past anger to just despair and depression, but obviously we wanted to talk about it today, and obviously like throughout the next few weeks there won't be official games, but there will be plenty to talk about, because if there's one thing about Boca is that there's always something to talk about. So yeah, just really sad. I was totally crushed. I went to sleep just like in total state of depression, and woke up 5:20 in the morning today and drove an hour to the office, and I'm crushed, man. And I don't think it's gonna go away anytime soon. We want to see movement, and we'll talk about kind of the future, but like we need something. We need some sort of change. We need a new coach. We need like someone's head to roll. We need to see some reaction, because like just things are not right, and we've been saying it for a long time, but things are not right. Something is to change, so we hope to see some changes. But before that happens, obviously we're going to talk about the game itself. We're going to talk about the fans' reaction after the game, which it's pretty basically probably how we would have reacted if we would have been at La Bombonera. And then we can look forward a little bit, even though again we're going to like unpack and give our visions for the future, and probably in later episodes when we've had more time to digest it. But like, what did you think about the game yesterday? A 1-0 loss to Independiente.
Yeah, before we start talking, I'm gonna read the lineup. We went back to our 4-3-1-2, which
for a little bit,
for
like 20 minutes.
Yeah, on paper, when we saw the starting 11, in my point of view, it was probably the best starting 11. I
was excited. Yeah, me too.
It was a good formation, let's put it that way. So we got Marchesin in goal. Then we have Blondel, Bataglia, and Costa. Costa and Bataglia, one of them were replacing Rojo, because was being reported that Rojo was sick. We can talk about that later. I don't believe it. I don't want to throw more gas into the fire, but it's no coincidence that there was some birthday celebration Saturday, and he woke up on Sunday feeling sick, and he didn't show up to practice, but whatever. Then we have Blanco on the left, and in the middle we have Delgado, Belmonte, and Zenon. Palacios as the number 10, if you want to call him that. And then on top we have Jimenez and Merentiel. So my take of the game, I think the first, let's say 13 minutes, 14 minutes of the game were very intense by Boca. I think that Boca took the initiative of the game. We start going at them. We try to pressure them as much as we can. We try to create chances. Merentiel tried to create chances. I think that Jimenez was not in his shape or form to be a starter, but we have any other options. So basically, what I was seeing, it was a lot of long passes from Delgado, sent on to Merentiel. And Merentiel basically running, like a maniac all around the pitch to try to get that face-to-face with the keeper, where he did. He had a face-to-face with the keeper. One was a goal that was ruled offside, which was offside. Then there was another one that he fell to be Independiente's goal, which is okay. But you could see that the long balls were something that was happening. And if you watch Independiente playing the pass, you knew that they play very forward defensive line. So if we would have kept trying to make those through balls or long balls, I think that we would have made some damage. With that being said, I think that in the minute 15, Independiente started having a lot of corner kicks out of nothing, to be honest, because they were not creating chances, but they were creating corner kicks. So it goes to a point that they started creating chances because of the corner kicks, and that's when Boca's confidence shaked a little bit, I think. But if you had to guess, for like the first 30 minutes, first 35 minutes, Boca was a little better than Independiente. I didn't think when we went halftime, I don't think I felt like, hey, Independiente is going to beat us here. I felt that Boca is doing enough to win, but not. We didn't deserve it. They were doing maybe enough to win, but I don't think that it was deserved, right? And I feel like we both, you as well, probably went to halftime feeling like we're doing okay. If we come back with the same intensity, but no weird changes or substitutions, we should be okay. Not like for us. The second half was a totally different team, a team that didn't show up to play, a team that was scared with the situation, a team that was scared with the stadium, which until the end of the game, I take my hat off because they were supporting the team from start to finish, something that everyone asked during the week. Everybody was asking the fans to be like, all right, let's push all together so we can make the final stretch and win this tournament. And once again, the players disappointed. With about 15 minutes or 20 minutes left, Independiente scored from a corner kick, the crosser, deflection, and then the number 3 scored a great goal. Nothing to there. I do think that maybe Marchesín could have done a little bit better.
I agree.
Maybe Costa could have done a little bit better. I would have think that a defender, when you know that a number 3 with that characteristic going into the box, he's going to shoot. I don't know why he didn't cross himself and try to stop the ball. He kind of hesitated a little bit. Again, it's a split of a second, but again, I think that Marchesín could have done a little bit better. And after the goal, the game ended, to be honest. We all knew it. As soon as they scored the goal, we all knew that the game was over. It's a shame. I think that the substitutions were late. I think that Palacio was the worst player that we had on the pitch. Every single ball that he touched was bad. Even he had an open goal that he missed. Again, it could happen. Let's say that it could happen because he created a chance, because he made that run. He missed. But after that, I feel like he's not up to the standards. He could be a great player in Chile, but so far for Boca, he hasn't done nothing. And I like him. I used to think that he could be a good attacking mid, but since then, he's done nothing. And the fact that he said last week that play for Boca he doesn't feel pressure, it shows. It shows that he doesn't feel pressure because he doesn't care. Because clearly he's not leaving everything on the pitch. So it shows. The vocabulary that these players use outside of the pitch shows how little they care about the team, how little they care about the club. Because any other player would have been like, I need to prove myself. I'm new to the club. I love how the fans are supporting me from day one. He even said, I don't know why they like me so much. It's like, because you came to a fan base that's going to support you, but you also had to give something back. I feel like these players start to feel that they are the stars, right? These are Instagram models that everybody's looking at them and posting on their Instagram, and they think that that's just enough. It is not enough. And what I keep saying about these players is like they don't care. They're not ever going to react. Palacio showed it. Cavani has been showing it. Zenon has been showing it. Barrojo is just it's an idiot. He has nothing in his head. It's something that I was obsessed with how good his defending is. I love how he defends, but we have nothing in your head. It's nothing I can do. You just are not up to the task. I don't know, Rodrigo. I can go on and on. I'm very frustrated, but I'm gonna make you go for a little bit because I'm about to start cursing people out.
Yeah, no. So I mean, just to add a couple of things. Yeah, so Boca had that basically open goal chance, from Palacios, and one thing that Boca has been lately the last few years is just like very weak mentally. So when you miss such a clear chance like that, it's very likely that it's gonna end on the team just kind of crumbling mentally. And almost kind of like the opposite if they would have scored. I mean, if they would have scored, maybe like there would have been enough time to just even score the second one because like then in the end they would have had to come forward and we were actually like doing damage, because there was a lot of space because their back line was playing forward. But of course, we didn't score. Merentiel had a chance also, like very early on a beautiful play, on a great cross from Blanco, and then on a great assist from Palacios. The thing with Palacios, I agree with everything you said. I actually thought that he was very active. He was in the first half. He was just very like just missing pretty much everything, and he was just, but at least he was trying. Same thing with Merentiel. Merentiel had just an awful touch in the first half, but at least he was kind of part of trying and leading the effort of just pressing and going forward and just trying to do something. And then them, alongside Milton Delgado, who always delivers, absolutely always delivers, even when he plays badly, he does more good than bad. And then Ayrton Costa in the back, he was unbelievable on defense and just so like I went into the half just feeling well because I was like, okay, like this is way better than I felt at the half against Lanús, for example, right? I mean, like Boca was absolute crap last weekend, and this time it was like, okay, like this is it would have been nice to score. We probably did a little more. And then just and I was like, hey, Jimenez is not doing it. If we're gonna play in space, you definitely you don't need this version of him. I mean, Jimenez is slow already. And this version of Jimenez at 70% is just like it's not good for anyone. So I was like, okay, maybe we play Ceballos, maybe like Velasco, someone just a little quicker if we're gonna like have like through balls and just playing in space. Erron made no changes. Just he kind of did change the system midway through the first half by kind of like putting Palacios on the right in front of Blondel and to go more like a 4-4-2. And I was like, okay, I kind of get it. Independiente was just starting to come forward, but then like Erron just completely broke the team when he put Zenon on the right. To the point where like Zenon had a counter attack where like he just didn't know what to do because he's not used to playing on the right because he sucks on the right. He sucks on the left. On his good position, right? I mean, what would you expect when you play on the right?
They're professional players. You cannot be like, oh, I'm not going to hold anything against Zenon because he cannot play on the right. Or like, oh, we cannot hold anything on Ceballos because he has to play on the left. Dude, you're a professional player. You need to play every single position.
I know,
at
but
least
like
in your midfield.
But we have very limited players, both physically, skills and mentally, So at the very least, play them in their like better position, like with Zenon was on the left, and then Zenon just ended up playing a god awful game to the point where like I think fans probably had it with him. They just are kind of done. I'm not quite there though. If we were to sell him to like get some cash to buy other players, I would not miss him. He's totally irrelevant in the history of Boca. I think with a good coach and a good system, he can do a lot better. But like, whatever, it's like it doesn't matter. But like, again, the last 25 minutes were, like you said, just absolutely nothing happened. Like not even like just like desperate crosses, just nothing.
Do you think because before Independiente score, we made 2 substitutions? So Jimenez.
Oh, that broke the team. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jimenez left, Cavani came in, and then Belmonte left, and Herrero came in. So I'm going to tell you what I thought. I thought that the Cavani substitution was good because I feel like Jimenez was not doing great.
Yeah.
Maybe you could have played Ceballos, but let's say take a 9, put another 9, whatever. The thing that I didn't understand is why they took out Belmonte. I know that Belmonte gets a lot of shit, but I feel like Belmonte was actually doing relatively good yesterday. I don't think he had a bad game. And I think when Belmonte left, the only thing I saw from Herrera was a retired player. When I say retired player, it's a retired player, current coach. He just came in to try to be the coach inside the pitch. He was constantly moving and telling people where to go. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm pointing at people. And then when he would get the ball, he could not stop it and he could not pass it. So
yeah, he tried a couple of through balls, which should be the only thing that he has left, right? And he like totally missed the mark and gave it to the opposing team. I'm like, dude, you're done. Just go away, go retire, man. Like, just you're a fucking dinosaur. Like, just go away.
So I think that when that substitution came in, what do you tell the team? For example, what do you tell Milton Delgado? Milton Delgado learned or read that player as like, all right, now I had to give the ball to Herrera, and I just had to stay back. So Delgado lost a few touches, so he wasn't touching the ball anymore. Zenon wasn't touching the ball anymore. Palacios was touching the ball anymore because Herrera wanted to be the coach inside the pitch.
Yeah.
And that destroyed us. I think that those 10 minutes, not even, it was 6-7 minutes until Independiente scored. Herrera destroyed us in the middle. Would you think this player, but he hadn't played in 2 months. He's old.
Yeah.
Why do you play a player when you need to take Belmonte out? Because it's not that Belmonte was doing bad. Again, the change would have been Palacio. You would take Palacio out and pull Velasco in at that minute. So that was a more normal.
Or we have someone like, I think Alarcón is a good, like, if you want to just kind of go a little more, offensive, you get rid of Belmonte and you play Alarcón, who can run and cover, but can also, like shoot, from the outside and just kind of like, go to the box and do something, and create a little more danger than Belmonte does. So I think that would have been an option. I think Alarcón came in last time, like it's kind of like the natural substitution. Ander Herrera is not it, because Ander Herrera has nothing left in the tank. He's done. Like the people from like Athletic Bilbao, like on Twitter, were saying, dude, thank you for taking him. Like, he is done. Like, what are you doing? And yeah, lo and behold, not only he can't physically play, but when he does, he's just an absolute zero. So yeah, that's what happened. It broke the team. Cavani came in and also looked like a dinosaur. I mean, he's just like slow and old, and like he didn't even like create one chance. Before he was like creating chances and playing well with Merentiel, did absolutely nothing. And then just to completely top it off in the flurry of subs from Erron down the stretch, at one point he just went crazy and took Delgado out. And at that point, I just kind of threw my hands up. I'm like, fuck you, man. Like, just like, what are we doing here? Like, we're a shit show.
Yeah, the thing that with Delgado, that I get that he wanted to put Alarcón is, but is it hard to see something as simple as all the balls are going through Delgado, he's playing well, just keep the players that are playing well, don't touch the players that are doing well, just take the ones out that are not playing well.
Especially because you have so many bad players to choose from to take out, right? I mean, like, you got so many. Just pick Zenon, pick Palacios, even pick Merentiel if you want. He wasn't playing with that well either. Just like, fuck it, just take him out. Just don't take out the one guy that's playing well. Like, that was Delgado.
It's a simple sub that you know that he's not going to complain, because he's a fantastic player, but he doesn't seem to have the personality to get into the
he's a kid. Like, what's he gonna do? Like Riquelme punishes all the young kids that speak up. I mean, like, he's like fought Barco and fought Eki Fernandez and fought Valentini. Like, like, he can't speak up, because if he does, then he may not play again for 2 years. So I mean, like, I get it.
It's very frustrating. So, with that being said, individually, only Delgado and Costa showed up.
Ayrton Costa, like, I think, sorry to interrupt, but like, I think I was very critical when they went to get him. Not so much because I didn't think he would be a good sub, but because I thought that like Boca needed to like kind of get someone that would be like the starter once Rojo left, which hopefully will be at the end of the year. So it's like, why are we buying? Why can't we get this number 6 of the future? Instead of like just getting a sub to Rojo, who's always injured, and so Costa's gonna play all the time. But turns out, hey, just Costa has been he's already surpassed all the expectations. Now, this doesn't
Yeah,
mean that we need to like be posting on Twitter every day about
right,
Ayrton Costa.
right.
No, stop
Yeah.
that bullshit, dude. He played like 10 decent games. Okay, don't fucking like treat him like a fucking idol. He is just doing his job, earning his salary. That's it. That's all he's doing.
I was gonna interrupt you and tell you that I saw on social media today at least 3 people posting
I
how
saw them
great he
too.
was, and I'm like, dude, he played one good game. That's supposed to be 19 in a row. You're supposed to
Yeah.
play 19
I
good
mean,
games in a row.
he played a
But
bunch
again,
earlier in the year. I mean, he's been playing well, but like that's it.
yeah,
It's
but
his job.
going back to these Instagram models that I tell you,
Yeah.
these players see everything online. So when
Yeah.
he was into his phone today and he says, "Oh, look, everybody thinks I'm fantastic. Everybody is saying how great I am," he's gonna relax. He's gonna like, "This is it. I earned the love of Boca fans," and that's not like that. That was never like that. People will not get idolized ever
Yeah.
for at least winning Libertadores. I mean, look at Palacio, Rodrigo Palacio. He won everything with Boca. And if you ask people, they're probably going to be like, he was all right. And he's probably one of the top 20 most important players we ever had in the history.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
and then you see these nobodies, because these are nobodies. And they probably go online and it's like, look at how these people love me. And then Ceballos, no one criticized Ceballos. Again, I'm not talking about Changuito Ceballos as default. I'm talking about how people react to different kind of players.
Yeah.
So we, coming back, I would have said in the beginning, we, the fans today, are a problem as well. We need to change our mentality. We need to do better. We need to stop um, treating these players like babies, like they deserve the best. I don't want to get too deep into this, but I think that Boca players training in 3 hours away or 2 hours away from Bombonera and Ezeiza is a huge mistake. I used to go when I was little to Casa Marisha to watch them practice, and if they had a
Yeah.
bad day, we would go and criticize them. Um, Now they're not in touch with Boca. They don't know what Boca is. They don't know exactly what Boca is. They go from the hotel to Boca Predio. They go from Boca Predio to the hotel, to the games.
Yeah.
There's no contact with the fans. And the little contact with the fans that they have is when they play in Copa Argentina in the
Yeah.
provinces. But those people would see them once a year. You will never get a rejection from them, because for
Yeah.
them, it's like seeing the idols once.
Yeah. It's their heroes. Yeah.
So for them, they are rock stars, and they are always going to be rock stars if they keep training away from what Boca is, from La Boca. They lost that we lost the sense of what Boca is.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem. Is besides the fans
Well,
lost, the players lost it, the board lost it. They lost.
and you know what? You know what? Also, we don't play enough kids from the academy. So not even the kids from the academy can bring it because we don't play enough of them. It's just Milton Delgado, who happens to be the best player on the team because he loves the jersey, and he like, obviously he's trying to make a career for himself, but you can tell he loves the team and wants to do well. But like, he's the only one. And also others like, like Di Lolo, when he played, I mean, he's kind of limited, but like he played very well because he's from the academy. He loves the team. Everyone else is from the outside and they don't care. They just get paid.
But,
And I don't know if you want to like just.
it's like back in the day, they would open the practice once or twice a week, and normal people, like middle class to lower class, that's what Boca is, more lower class than middle class, will be
Yeah,
able
working class.
to enjoy the practice, see them, touch them, be close to them, like hug them, take pictures. Now they're in Ezeiza and in Boca Predio, where there's no access, right, to
Yeah.
anybody. Only rich people that have a car that can get there, no work, and just go there just for fun can do that. But even me, as a member of the club for the last 20 years, I don't even know if I'm allowed to go to Boca Predio.
I don't think so.
So we lost that. And I know this sounds very basic and people are like, what are you talking about? But I feel like if we don't recover that sense of identity, we're going to be lost.
Yeah. You know, at the very least, just like go, like do the formal practice on like Fridays for a Sunday game. Just do it at La Bombonera and do it open to the public. You know, it's just at the very least do that. You know, and so yeah, but like again, you know, we like one of the problems that we're dealing with here, and this is also something that just came up in social media today. Is just that we have too many players that are very pricey, that make a lot of money, and that just are not cutting it. You know, you might have seen the tweets going around, but like out of the basically some of the 10 highest paid players in Boca, only 2 of them played yesterday, and only 1 started. Merentiel, I think it's like 8 or 9, and he's you know he's the only starter, and then Cavani played a little bit in the second half, and then the others just are not. Like guys like Lema and Hanson and Romero and Avincula's injured. I mean, he's played mainly, but like Fabra, guys like that, it's just like we're paying so much money to so many like just players that are useless or I mean, we'll see, because like this is something that I kind of tweeted about it the other day. Like these players, then they leave Boca and they either retire or they get kicked out of their next team in like 6 months. Look at Benedetto. Benedetto went to Olympia in Paraguay. Dude, he lasted like 3 months. They kicked him in the ass. So like, get the fuck away from here, man. Like, it happens with every player that leaves Boca because they leave too late. You gotta just kick him out way earlier. Like, don't let him fail for like 5 years. Just kick him out.
To add that, you know, I think that for everybody listening to us, we're talking basically why we're falling short all the time. So I read a journalist wrote something like a long article today, explained to why it's happening with the players, the highest players, the Rojo going out and not being punished, all this Palacios going to Chile and not being punished, basically all the administrative problems. And I'm going to point to one name. Riquelme is the fault today.
Coming from the top, yeah,
it's coming from the top, because the guy was explaining to everybody in his article how he feels. Riquelme didn't disconnect himself from Riquelme player. He still thinks he's a player. He didn't take the role as a president. So without us knowing, we're assuming obviously, but the reporter was saying how he feels that Riquelme player is now the Riquelme player / president, that he will always protect the players because he considers himself a player. He will always pay the experience more money, because basically when he was a player, he was wanted to get paid more because of the experience that he brought. And also, and we all knew about this, Riquelme went out a lot when he was a player. He used to go out, he used to have asados, and we always make fun of this and memes about it. But people didn't care because he would perform the next day. He is an extraordinary player. Like, put it on the same level as Maradona. Maradona could go out non-stop, and then he would perform and score 3 goals the next day. So people didn't care. The problem here that he was saying in the article is like Riquelme sees his players act the same way that he would act as a player. So for him, it's hard to criticize them because he knows that he would be a hypocrite. The difference between them and Riquelme is that Riquelme was an out-of-this-world player, and he would go, showed up, play, win a Libertadores by himself, and then go to bed. Yeah. So one of the biggest point there is like if he doesn't take this job seriously as a president, this is where we're always going to keep falling short. He cannot come out and support Fabra every single time he speaks to the media and say that he's the best left back we ever had, when Fabra is terrible. He cannot come out and talk about how great Paul Fernandez was when he was terrible. So it gets to a point that he needs to be the boss. When Rojo shows up late or sick because he went out the night before, you as the CEO or the president of a company, because like Boca is a club / company, you need to do something about it. You cannot be like, all right, dude, don't worry about it. I used to do the same. Because Rojo is not going to perform the same way as you did. For you, Rodri, and me, Riquelme was probably the best player we ever saw play well for Boca, and that's no
100%.
doubt about it. But you cannot expect the players to perform as well as you did. So unless that changes and he starts having the balls, because I think that today Riquelme doesn't have the balls to tell the players how bad they are and how they're laughing at us, until he has the balls to tell them to fuck off, he's going to be blamed. And today, the fans are chanting against the board, but we cannot get to a point where the whole stadium is chanting by name.
Or
Because
close. We're getting there.
So we are getting there, but as an institution, as a history that we have at Boca, it will be a huge laughing stock for the whole
fuck the laughing stock. I don't care about the other fans. I care about us and our history. Like I would, like, it would be really sad. Like I'm already there. I'm already like I put it on my Instagram. I called him a mercenary and a son of a bitch. Like I think he needs to go. But like just as a fan in the stadium to chant to just to insult them by name, that would be tough. That would really be tough. But he's heading in that direction, and I don't think it's going to change. I do want to say one thing that you were saying, and like this is like Riquelme has disappointed at basically everything, most things, not everything, but like most things. But like the one thing I never expected was for him to be so soft with the players. This is a guy, he fought Maradona and basically won. Like if you ask fans to choose between like Riquelme and Maradona, like Boca fans are probably gonna choose Riquelme. Like he like him and Palermo, like they like it's kind of like 50-50 with the fans. He had like some of the best coaches of his generation, like Luis Van Gaal, Manuel Pellegrini. Like he like fought all of them. He did not give a fuck. He just like he just and like even like he had issues with Basile, and like just he only kind of got along with Russo and Bianchi and Borghi for like he fought Falcioni, even after they won that tournament, without losing any games. So like I expected Riquelme to just be tough, because like no one can say anything to Riquelme. If Riquelme wants someone gone, they're gone, dude. Like the fans will not criticize any decision. He can kick out anyone, like literally anyone. He like fought Maradona, so like I just did not expect him to be so soft on these players who have won nothing, absolutely nothing. They're like footnotes on the history of Boca, and Riquelme is not doing anything, just absolutely nothing. He's just like letting them run wild, and he's just like, and he totally dismisses the position of the coach. He thought, like Riquelme thought that we could get through and win this tournament with Mariano Herron on the bench, dude. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Mariano Herron, dude, it's his third time as an interim coach, and he sucked every time. He sucks with the reserves. He's been in different positions in within Boca in these 6 years because he's best friends with Riquelme. So he's been like coordinator, and then he was like assistant coach there, and then he coached the reserves. Mariano Herron fucking sucks, and he's not even a Boca player. He's like an Argentinos Juniors like player. Like, but he's there because he's friends with Riquelme. And like literally, this guy thought that Herron was gonna make us win this tournament. And I was like, I mean, I've seen crazier things work, right? But like, of course it wasn't gonna happen. It's fucking Mariano Herron. Dude, you can win in 2025 without a coach.
It's tough because the next question that we have for the podcast and ourselves is, where do we go from here? And it seems like nothing is going to change. It seems like this is what we got. Yeah, correct. So this is what we got. This is what's going to be in the next 2 years. I don't see us going to the Copa Libertadores next year. I mean, we got a lot of points. We are up there, and we should be able to easily make it. But I don't see anything good happen in the next 2 years, which is sad because, again, we are criticizing him a lot, but I'm gonna own my vote. I voted for him. I voted for Ameal. I am just disappointed, and it's okay. I mean, it's okay that I was wrong. I don't care about being right, but it's just sad to know that there's nothing to be changed, that no one wants to change, that they think that things are okay, that they think that this is a political argument. And it goes to the point that 95% of the Boca fans are not in a political statement. We don't care. We don't know anything about the political movements in Argentina. We don't care about that. We never did. And the fact that he's shielding himself, saying that this is all political, it's just being
He's just being cynical. I mean, he's
cynical.
creating a division. Like I think you said it at the beginning of the podcast, how everything is broken, including the fans and the fandom. And like you go. I mean, social media is not a one-to-one reflection of real life, but it's pretty close because everyone's on social media, and it's an open like civil war between the fandom. You know, you have like the Riquelmistas, you have the Macristas, you have the people in the middle that hate all of them.
It is a
You know,
civil
it's just
war because we are losing. Because if we were doing things right, if you go online, and he probably does this because he knows, because every time he talks to the media, he's like, I don't go on social media, but every question that he answers knowing that the target is what people are saying on social media, right? So if he defends Paul Fernandez, it's because he knows that in social media, everyone is criticizing Paul Fernandez. Somebody told him that. So you should know as a president that if everybody hates, the fans hate the Consejo de Fútbol, you should try to go outside and be like, listen, this is not working. Tell his friends, I know that his best friends are Delgado, Cassini, and Serna.
But
And be like,
been
listen,
6
dude,
years,
it's not
man.
working. Correct. But if you want to change, if you don't do that, people are not going to try to be with you. They just think that you're just laughing at them. So if you know that let's call the Consejo de Fútbol the CEO of the company. If the whole company is collapsing because of the CEO, you remove the CEO and try with a new CEO. If he doesn't see that as a president, that his CEO group is not doing good, you need to find a way to replace him. Even take the title CEO, put them practice free kicks, right? Grab Delgado and say, Delgado, you know what? You had great free kicks as a player. Teach Seno how to kick free kicks. And your job now is teaching him how to kick free kicks. If you want to fire him like that, just dissolve something that it hurts the fans so much, because we feel like they're laughing at us, that they're not listening to us. That he always says about his famous phrase was like, the fans and members own the club. Today, we feel like we don't know shit.
He's not respecting the will of fans. He's not.
Correct. Like, no one can get into Boca Previo. They don't practice in Casa Amarillo anymore. You cannot say anything because you're in the stadium and people are complaining that if you're in the standing section only and you criticize a player, La Doce comes and try to fight you. If you're in the seat only section, if you criticize somebody, they come and kick you. It's like an anarchy, and no one likes an anarchy. It's not going to work. It never worked in the history of anything.
Yeah.
Not even with your relationships, not even with your friends, not even with our work. It's just, we don't know where we're going to go forward. Rodri, to the listeners, I don't know where we're going to go forward.
Yeah.
I don't see what's happening. Now we have a month off, and then we had to go play Benfica, Bayern Munich, and the New Zealand side. I told my wife today, we're probably going to lose all games, the three of them. Like, we're not even going to beat the New Zealand team. And I told her, it's going to be amazing because, we're going to the games, so we're all going to see each other. I want to have a great time. It's going to be the most fans attended the World Cup are going to be Boca fans. And what do we get in return? 3 games that we're going to lose probably. And that's not because we are pessimistic, because I'm the most optimistic guy you are going to meet.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no...
until proven otherwise, your assumption is correct that until we actually see a good head coach being hired, until we see just some of the old players just leave and new, like, younger, like, more professional and more committed players come in, until we see some of those things, which obviously I mean, it looks like we'll get a coach in the next week or so, but I don't think we're gonna buy any players for the Club World Cup. I mean, knowing Boca, like, and how slow they are to negotiate things, I don't think that's going to happen. So it's just basically going to be these same players, but hopefully with a new coach. We'll talk about that, like, when that gets announced, and we'll talk more. I just kind of want, like, nothing is guaranteed to work in Boca. Like, just like we've had some of the best players and some of the best coaches and they've failed. But like what I want to see more than anything is for us to just like go all out every time. And I know the comparisons suck, but like you look at like Mauricio Macri when he won the presidency in 1996, like he came in and he brought in Bilardo, like World Cup winning head coach, Carlos Bilardo. Bilardo sucked as Boca coach, absolutely sucked. What did he do? He fired him. He brought in Bambino Veira, who won Copa Libertadores with River. Hell of a coach. He also sucked. And then what did he do? He went and he got Carlos Bianchi, like who won like Libertadores with Vélez and like so many things. And you know what? If you keep going for excellence, same thing with players. He bought Verón, Kili Gonzalez, those players failed. Like, Canigia. Yeah,
everything.
like those players failed, but we were like shooting for the best, shooting for the stars every single time. And you do that enough times, you're going to succeed. What we can't have is this thing where like, let's just give Diego Martinez a chance, or like, why not give Bataglia his chance? He's been in the reserves, he was a good player once,
I mean, you made a very good point, and if add that to the players that he's bringing, because, you had to bring good players. So bringing Cavani, who is retired, bringing Herrera because he wanted to play with Boca. I mean, we appreciate them making an effort, but they should not be starters. They should be players that play the last 20 minutes of a game that's already won, like De Rossi. When De Rossi came, Rossi played what? 3 games, maybe 4 games. Max.
And then he left on his own because he understood that he wasn't up to par. I hope Ander Herrera does the same after the Club World Cup and he just retires because he's absolutely useless.
I mean, you had a good point. I mean, whoever we had to aim for the best, and we have the money. Yeah. That's the thing that makes me sick.
Yeah, exactly. We do.
Money. It's not like it's a broken.
Like Macri did in '96. Yeah.
It's not to compare, but it's not like San Lorenzo, who's in the semifinals. Like they won against Argentinos the other day. They're 2 games away to being champions. The whole team having been paid in the last 18 months.
Yeah, they went on strike through the week.
They went on strike, but they came out. They won because they have something that the thing with the Boca players, they know that we're not going to criticize them. They know that they're shielded by Riquelme, so they don't care. The fact that Rojo, who is the captain, went out on Saturday, 2 games before the game, and then he didn't show up. Dude, I always make that comparison. I didn't take 1 sick day in the last 14 years on my job. And I've been sick, obviously, in the last 14 years. I had the same job for the last 14 years. I haven't taken 1 sick day. And this guy shows up and says, hey, I'm not going to train because I'm sick. Yeah. Dude, I get fired on the spot. How this guy, the captain? It's just, where we're going from here, I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like everybody that's listening to us, we appreciate it. I know you guys are as frustrated as us. We don't have an answer, to be honest, of what's going to happen. I don't see. The only thing that is happening right now is my wallet, because I'm not traveling anywhere to see Boca. You know, I haven't been to an away game in the last 2 years, and it's driving me nuts. Thank God I'm going to the Club World Cup now that it starts in like a month. I'm going to see you. I'm going to see all my friends in Miami, in Nashville. Hopefully we make it to Atlanta, which will be like quarterfinals. Awesome. But who knows? That's the only time I want to waste my money on this team. But it's just like we haven't been in the Libertadores. We haven't done anything the last 2 years, and it's depressing. It's depressing what's happening. It's depressing how the fans are fighting against each other. It's depressing how people come to me. It's like, oh, see, I told you that Riquelme sucked, and you voted for him. Like, you know nothing. It's like, all right, whatever. It happens. But it's just depressing that there's no light right now at the end of the tunnel. We knew this was going to happen. It was going to happen yesterday. It was going to happen maybe with Huracan. It was going to happen in the final to whoever was going to play. The only thing I hope that doesn't happen to us is losing 4-0 against Benfica, 5-0 against Bayern Munich, because it would be an embarrassment. It would destroy our international reputation, because this is the tournament that everyone's going to be looking. It's the only chance we had to compare ourselves to European teams. And if we come out losing like yesterday, like being a disaster. It's just even an Independiente friend of mine text me to say, "Hey, sorry about yesterday. I'm not gonna make fun of you, but you guys are a disaster. Like
Yeah,
we didn't do anything to
fine.
win, and we won." So if Independiente, who is a normal team, a 5 out of 10 points team, can
Yeah.
come to our team and beat us, what are we gonna do with Benfica, with Bayern Munich? I don't know.
Has
I
the
am very
potential to go really bad. Yeah.
um but yeah, really, I don't know. This is my take. It's been a long podcast, I think. Um I don't know what else you want to chat about anything. I don't know if you saw anything on Twitter that you wanna if the fans wanna chat with us. Um I am very sad, dude. I am
Yeah.
sad. I was very sad the whole day. In 2 days is my birthday. I'm already thinking about how sad that's
Oh,
gonna be. And I'm like,
yeah.
I gotta see all my friends now in 2 days, and they're gonna make comments about it. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah.
Um,
And
it's
then
a,
just the fact that we don't get like we don't get the chance to just kind of like have a next game where you can like get back on your feet and do something. But now it's a full month without games. So yeah, it's rough. Yeah, all I just want to say, wanted to thank the fans, the our followers, and thank you for the comments. We read all of them. I tried to like answer most of them. We'll try to keep recording even though there's no games. We'll keep you updated. Hopefully with a new head coach next time. We're not gonna speculate right now on the names because it's the same names that always come up, and who knows if it's gonna be one of those or not. So yeah, just thank you for being with us. Thank you for just um, just sharing the pain with us. I know that the good times will come eventually. I don't know how soon. Right now it doesn't look great, but yeah, just thank you
yeah, maybe
just for being with us, and yeah, just subscribe to our channels. We're trying to build the YouTube channel. We're trying to just listen to the podcast on Spotify and Apple and just everywhere you can, and then just spread the word. Tell your friends. Just like we know there's Boca fans in every corner of the world. So just tell a friend. Just tell them. There's someone out there that is a Boca fan who's really sad right now, just like us, and wants a community, and just let us be that community because I mean, we're stronger together.
yeah, 100%. And maybe in 2 weeks we can do a podcast where we chat about I don't know our favorite jerseys or favorite players,
Yeah,
or
just tell us
maybe
ideas. Just give us ideas of what you want us to talk about, and we'll do it.
yeah, 100%, something like that to keep it going and to bring the joy back a little bit, right? To
Yeah,
relive memories in the past. You've been to La Bombonera, I've been to La Bombonera. Maybe our listeners never been. We can tell them how it is, the outsides, the insides. Um, you know, little things that make us a little bit prouder of the club that we support. But yeah, this is gonna be tough for next month. We're gonna keep everybody updated with everything that we know. Keep following the Twitter. I apologize. I don't answer much on Twitter. I try not to be much on social media.
you're busier than
Um,
I am. You
yeah.
have a lot more going on than I do, so it's okay. I can I
Um,
can I can answer. If you guys have any messages for Facu, let me know and I'll tell him.
but besides that, I love doing this. I really enjoy it. I like doing this with you, Rodri. So thanks again for coming in and doing it every week. But without, I got nothing else, Rodri. If you don't have anything else, or if you want to close it out, so yours.
No, just everyone again, just thank you, and we'll get through this. Boca has had rough stretches before. Don't get used to this. That's like the last thing we want to do. Like we will never get used to just being down. Uh, but we'll be back. We'll be back, and we'll be back, and we'll be back just kicking everybody's ass like our history mandates. And that's it. Just thank you guys.
That being said, everybody have a great end of the week, and until next time.